Your bank account is frozen. No warning. No explanation. You can't access your money. For millions worldwide, this isn't fiction, it's reality. Banks hold significant power over our finances, and sometimes it's against us. Enter crypto, promising freedom, control, and a new way to approach money. But is it that simple? Welcome to Crisis Coin and today's showdown, crypto versus banks. Let's start by understanding why banks exist in the first place. For centuries, banks have been the gatekeepers of money. They store it, lend it, move it, and keep the financial system running. They give us credit cards, mortgages, and savings accounts, the tools that shape our daily lives. But banks aren't just about convenience. They hold a huge amount of power, and sometimes, that power comes at a cost. Take Europe's history. After World War II, banks played a crucial role in helping to rebuild economies, stabilize currencies, and restore trust in the financial system. But fast forward to the 2008 financial crisis, a moment that shattered that trust. Big banks took massive risks, used complex financial products nobody really understood, and when the bubble burst, ordinary people paid the price. Jobs were lost, homes were foreclosed, and millions saw their life savings vanish. Banks got bailed out with taxpayers' money, but most people didn't see a dime. This was the moment that changed everything. Out of the ashes of crisis, a radical idea emerged. What if money wasn't controlled by banks or governments? What if it were decentralized, open to everyone, and secured by code rather than trust in institutions? That idea was Bitcoin, the first cryptocurrency, launched in 2009 by the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin promised a revolution. No central authority, no hidden fees, and total transparency. Every transaction is recorded on a public ledger called the blockchain. It sounded like a dream, especially for young Europeans frustrated by economic uncertainty and outdated systems. But it also sounded like a challenge to the banks, a threat to their centuries-old monopoly on money. So how do banks react when something threatens their power? They adapt, resist, or sometimes even ignore it, hoping the hype will fade. In Europe, many banks started exploring blockchain technology, the backbone of crypto, trying to use it for faster payments and better security. But at the same time, regulators started cracking down on cryptocurrencies, worried about fraud, money laundering, and financial instability. Now, let's break down the key differences between crypto and banks. Banks are centralized. They decide who can open accounts, how much money you can borrow, and whether your transactions get approved. Crypto is decentralized. Anyone can create a wallet, send money globally in minutes, and participate in the network without permission. But that freedom comes with risks. Banks offer protections, deposit insurance, customer service, and dispute resolution. Crypto: if you lose your private keys or get hacked, your money is gone, no refunds, no bailouts. Plus, cryptocurrencies are famously volatile. Bitcoin's price can swing wildly, making it a risky store of value for many. However, crypto offers advantages that banks often can't match. Cross-border payments can take days and cost heavy fees in traditional banking. With crypto, it can be instant and cheap. And in some parts of Europe, where banking access is limited or expensive, crypto provides a real alternative for people to participate in the global economy. Europe itself is caught in the middle of this transformation. Countries like Switzerland and Germany are crypto-friendly hubs with clear regulations. Others are more cautious or even hostile. The European Central Bank is developing the digital euro, a kind of government-backed cryptocurrency, but critics argue it won't have the freedom or decentralization that true crypto promises. For young Europeans, this isn't just about money, it's about values. Crypto represents transparency, independence, and innovation. Banks represent tradition, stability, but also control and gatekeeping. The question isn't just who will win, but what kind of future do we want? A future where banks control everything behind closed doors. Or one where technology empowers individuals and communities, but let's not romanticize crypto too much. The technology is still young and imperfect. It's a wild frontier full of scams, environmental concerns, and regulatory battles. And banks aren't going anywhere, they're powerful, well-funded, and deeply embedded in society. So, what's the takeaway for you? The clash between crypto and banks isn't just about new technology or financial products, it's about reshaping who holds power and trust in our financial system. Understanding both sides helps you make informed choices about your money, your future, and the role you want to play as these two worlds collide. As Europe stands on the brink of a financial revolution, one thing is clear: this battle is far from over. The banks of the past won't disappear overnight, and cryptocurrency still has to prove itself as a safe and reliable alternative. But the conversation has started, and you are part of it. So, what side are you on? Are you ready to question the old ways and explore the possibilities of a decentralized future? Or do you trust the institutions that have shaped Europe's economy for centuries? The choice might define the financial world you'll inherit. Thanks for watching Crisis Con. If you found this video useful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for updates. Stay curious and keep questioning.